All right, Sports Inquirer here with Coach Collier from Georgia Tech Volleyball. Team had a good victory at Duke. First time you won there since 2004. What were some of the positives you saw from your team's performance there?
I felt like we were really able to offensively be a little more balanced than we were on Friday night. But I really think one of the biggest things was our serving and how we were able to kind of control a little bit of their middles. They're a very important part of their offense, and they weren't as efficient as they have been. So I think that we really did a good job defending them, and so that gave us an opportunity with our offense to be a little more efficient, and it gives us an opportunity to win that match.
When we spoke last time about the defense and we talked about your digs and extending rallies and things like that, we didn't talk so much about blocking, yet in this match you were able to outblock Duke.
Right.
Particularly Cindy Wilson and Lauren Pitts had strong performances in that regard. Discuss having that aspect of your defense step up in that win.
Huge. When we were playing Duke, we know that they were number one in digs and blocks in our conference, and so we knew that they were going to be strong, and those are kind of going to be their strengths, and we had to match it, and we had to really make sure that we were efficient with our offense, but defensively we had to match what they did or do better. And so it was good to see that we were able to do that, and that was one of the reasons why we won that match.
Gabrielle also had another strong performance, 15 kills and 11 digs, I think her 5th double-double of the season. We talked earlier this season about her evolution, and she showed some moments earlier in the year of being an elite player, but now we're starting to see that every match she has a chance to. Discuss her development this year.
Yeah, for sure. She's just a very confident player out there now. She's just been able to do a lot of things and just feel comfortable on the court. And with that, she's gaining more and more responsibilities. I think that her teammates trust her. Our setters don't think twice about getting her the ball. And so it's good. She's putting up the numbers. She's definitely delivering the performances and being consistent with not only in matches but also in practice, and then how she's coming out. She's really truly developing to be a leader for this program, and it's exciting for her to see that.
You have Clemson and Virginia coming up here at Georgia Tech. You faced them earlier this season at their places, able to get victories. Is it tougher to face these teams with this short time period? I was only about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Do you know each other's tendencies, or do you like having a little bit of distance kind of between these matches when you face them?
I think we can't really pick and choose. We got to be ready to play every match the way it is, and this was kind of how it was laid out. We know that Clemson played Wake really well. They played some good games against Duke. In Virginia, same thing. They went 5 with Wake earlier, and so these teams are competing well. They're trying to get some momentum going on their side, and I think that based on there were less matches. They know that there were moments where they were competing well against our team, and then they're going to be ready to kind of see if they can bring in that same kind of intensity here to our gym. And then our goal is to be a better team than we were 3 weeks ago against these teams as well. Does
it make it easier to scout them as far as knowing their tendencies? Does it make it easier in that regard, preparing for them?
Yes, it's not as in depth as we were the first time. I think some of those things are still fresh in our minds of, that match and what worked and what didn't work for us, and what are some of the things that we need to do, and what are some of the things that they did that worked against us that we're going to have to do a better job stopping. So it definitely, the quick turnaround kind of helps a little bit in that, because we are just kind of fresh from some studying and watching video and seeing some of those things that they did, and so we'll use that to our advantage, but it's also to their advantage because they also just played us. So.
And lastly, since the team has had such a good performance so far this year, you can make possible projections to postseason. Do you look at things like RPI and common opponents and how other teams that you faced are doing? Do you take some time to kind of see where you are in that regard, or do you really try to stay focused on the season at hand?
We are somehow. I know the coaching staff is. I think that we want our players to really our focus is to keep getting better, to getting here and make sure that we are, maxing out with the things that we can do, and every opportunity that we get to be on the court that we're competing better, we're playing better as a team. We're playing better as individuals. And then we're really giving ourselves a chance to not cut ourselves short. I think a lot of that is in our control right now. I think that we worked really hard to put ourselves in that position. So, I think that we're definitely on the bubble. I think our latest RPI was 41 or 40 or, it's around that. So our goal is to finish with the top 50 RPI, to have more than 20 wins, and then to really, this last 10 matches are very crucial because we do understand that that's one of the things that the committee looks at is how the teams are finishing out their season and playing towards that second half of their season. But none of that matters if we don't come out and just play the way that we're supposed to play. So I think that we're staying focused on that. Of course, going back to the NCAA, it was a goal that we set, not this year, but when I first got here with this group, and we have worked really hard throughout the process to put ourselves in the position that we are today. But I think that our main focus right now is making sure that we're making Georgia Tech volleyball better, and every day is an opportunity to do that, and we're taking advantage of those opportunities.